Hey everyone, it's me Sloth. In today's video I'm going to be making an updated assassin guide. I'll be going over all the different abilities assassin has just to show off its kit in case everyone's interested in what it is or if they're thinking about joining assassin. And then I'll show off the build I made for it in the current meta, which I think is really good. So if you need to go anywhere in the video, there are timestamps in the description. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, be sure to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you really are interested in Vesteria content. It's come to my awareness that only— No! So first off, let me explain the assassin kit. When you join assassin, which is a subclass for hunters, you can join any subclass at level 30 for your faction. And assassin is one of the most popular hunter subclasses, if not the most popular one. They get 3 abilities, the first one being Shadow Walk. This is ability makes you invisible and allows you to move a lot faster. It's mainly infamous for the fact that the first attack you do after being invisible will do more damage. See, that critical hit that did a lot of damage. But these are chickens after all. It is important to note, however, that the invisibility or whatever, this perk where you do boosted damage once you attack, the first attack after being invisible, it only works with a basic dagger attack. It doesn't work with like abilities like execute, and it also doesn't work with bows. It used to work with bows, but it's been removed since it was considered too OP. The other ability is Shadow Flurry. This is basically the ability that carries Assassin in terms of DPS, and this will just send you a big barrage of shadows that will just obliterate anything. It's mainly intended for single target, but the cool thing about it is that you can actually cast it while sprinting. But unlike abilities like Executes, it will not reset the cooldown if you get a kill with Shadow Flurry, since it's just way too easy to get kills with Shadow Flurry, and it's also way too much DPS to just be spamming. So there is a 10-second cooldown with it, and it does scale with physical power like strength instead of magic. Their last ability is more gimmicky, and that's Step Through Shadow. This is like allows them to place a little teleport, so as you can see I can dance right here, and that right there I made a shadow. And that shadow will not stay there forever, but it'll stay there long enough, so if I'm going somewhere and I want to teleport back there, I can teleport back there. And that's pretty much all shadow is. It does have a pretty long cooldown, and honestly the ability isn't too useful, but assassins can actually max out all of their abilities once they reach max level, so you'll get it maxed out anyway. It doesn't hurt to have. Alright, now let me go over joining assassins. Now when you want to join assassin, you do have to make sure you're a hunter and you're at least level 30 without any other subclass. Then you would just go over here. So you'll know you're close when you find this giant like guild hall building with all like the purple flags. You go to the left of it where there's like water and this stair whatever thing is. And right over here you'll find like a hidden entrance. You can go inside of here, and that's where you'll find the assassin trainer. It's not going to say anything to me really because I've already joined assassin. But if you're level 30 and you need to join assassin, this is where you'd find them. Alright, now let's go over how I built my assassin. Starting off with the equipment. Equipment, you know, you just keep using the best equipment until you can get this stuff. It doesn't really matter what you use, but once you're max level, you do want to be using this stuff mainly. For the headgear, I used the skin ratty hat. This is a headgear you can obtain from pit ratties in the pit. And the reasoning is pretty obvious. I mean, it gives you the most dex out of any hunter headgear, excluding Moog Loco masks, but those also give you a massive debuff, so those don't really count. And out of nowhere, you just get an attack speed bonus as well, and plus 5 strength. There's pretty much no reason not to use this hat other than cosmetic purposes. But no one can add, this does have the best stats for like assassins. For the armor, I used the Sand Skulker vest. Now, anyone can use any different armor they want, honestly, because defense isn't too big in this game. But Sand Skulker, it doesn't look ugly like hobo armor, and I prefer extra defense over block chance. You can obtain these pretty easily in the gauntlet. Just buying it was like, I think it's like 500 silver or something. And they give you the most defense out of any hunter vest, so that's the main reason I use it. There's no, it doesn't really matter that much. I know some assassins, if they're forced to use their bow, they like to switch to ranging gear, and that's perfectly fine as well, but for the most part, you'll be using Sand Skulker vest the most. For the dagger, I like to use the incisor. This one's also pretty obvious. I mean, even though this dagger is considered to look ugly amongst a lot of people, This dagger has the most base attack out of any other dagger in the game, and plus it just comes with 10% critical chance for no reason. And the perk is also pretty cool because you do more damage with your critical. It's 30% extra damage. I mean, this is just the best assassin dagger without a doubt. The incisor can be obtained again same way as skin ratty hat. It's from the pit ratties. Just keep killing them and you'll eventually get one. For the bow, I use the sand ravage bow. The main reasoning is that you won't really be using their bow that often as assassin, but this bow does just come with free 10% critical chance, which will help you with your dagger because it stacks. So you just get 10% extra crit from an offhand. That's the main reason I use this one. This one's also swift, but you can't get variants anymore at the time of this video. But you shouldn't really need a variant one at all, just any sand ravage bow. The main purpose you'd be using this for is the 10% critical chance. And for the boots, I use sand skulker boots. Now, some people do like to use scarab boots. Those give 1 less walk speed, but they do give 10 plus jump. I don't really care about jump though, because assassins and all hunters already are able to double jump. I never really had a problem with jumping at all. And I prefer just being faster over having more jump. I think the walk speed is better, and plus it just looks more fashionable, I guess. Now let's go over my stats. So for assassin, I'm doing 90 dex and the rest into strength. Now this may seem confusing considering the past meta was a lot different than just doing 90 dex, but hear me out. The main reasoning behind 90 dex is that a lot of these different perks have shifted. Previously, 50 dex would give you a perk called Deadeye, which would just give you 10% critical chance for free. That perk is now 90 dex, and it no longer gives you extra 10% crit, it just increases your critical strike damage by 10%. As well as there's another perk for 70 dex, Gratada or something, which would increase your attack speed by 1.2 times. That is also just straight up gone. That perk doesn't exist anymore. But another main reasoning behind doing 90 dex is that high attack speed builds are actually a lot better than they used to be when I made those old videos. Before, a lot of your hits wouldn't register since high attack speed builds just didn't work with the old anti-exploit, and your hits will now register even if they're really fast. For the most part, I know hunters have it really well, but some warriors, even if they attack really fast, some of the hits may not register. But assassins can definitely benefit from having increased attack speed. And then the rest is into strength, because 90 dex is all I think you'd pretty much need just to get the Deadeye perk. It does come with the bonus of now when you have 90 dex, that's the minimum requirement to shoot 4 arrows. But who cares about 4 arrows? I don't think that's the main part. The main part is that Deadeye is there now, and that's the last place you get your hunter perk. The rest is into strength because obviously all your assassin abilities and hunter abilities and pretty much all your everything will scale off of strength, and the more strength, the more damage you do. It is pretty interesting though, because you do have this one perk where critical strikes will stun enemies, which is very OP in PvP. I hope it does get removed, honestly. I don't think this perk is gonna last long. But yeah, just doing everything else in strength is what you're gonna do anyway, but these perks are also pretty good. Now let's go over the different abilities I use. The adventure abilities shouldn't matter too much. I guess I did magic missile back then because magic missile is just the best adventure ability. Now for the hunter skills, I just maxed out all the dagger abilities. I don't really care about using barrage. I don't think barrage is that good, especially for assassin. So you just max out execute and shumpo, which these abilities have interesting things where shumpo will now reset its cooldown when you kill an enemy with it. I didn't actually one-shot that big slime though, so it didn't do it. But if I go somewhere over here, as you can see, every time I kill something, it just automatically resets the shumpo cooldown, which actually makes grinding like smaller mobs really cool with shumpo. Execute also has this property, but it isn't as useful. Oh crap. And for the assassin skills, I don't really need to give a guide on this because you will eventually just max out all your assassin abilities anyway. But if you are leveling up through assassin, I would just level this up last because this isn't really useful at all. Just focus on like Shadow Walk and Shadow Flurry, and yeah, these abilities are just really good. I mean, come on. But that's pretty much all I have to say about assassin. I do believe this is a really good pick for like someone's first subclass, or for people who aren't really used to the way RPGs work and stuff, since this class is pretty easy to pick up, pretty easy to play, and it has a lot of synergy with it. Everything just kind of connects. You know what you're doing when you're playing assassin. There's not much gimmicks with it. That's pretty much gonna be it for this video though. Stay tuned for the rest of the subclass guides in the future, and that's it from me. Bye bye.